All right, welcome. Let's celebrate the World Soil Day 2021. We have wonderful people joining in through. Let's start with their. Since I started to speak today, I will start the introduction as well. I'm Olga, a health coach and big enthusiast of anything to do with health and happiness. Together, health and happiness, I call it my Vitality Project. And soil is the foundation for most of health and happiness, not only for humans. So it's a big part of my life. I love learning more and hope to learn more from my friends and who are presenting, and also later from friends who are joining as well. So that's about me. And I like Bronwyn's suggestion that we'll do clockwise and just introduce ourselves. And when you see that somebody was speaking next to you, just when they stop, just start speaking right away. So just for time management. Okay.
Would you like me to start, Olga? Seeing as I'm right on the left. Okay, hi everybody, my name is Chris. I live in Laos and I work with my Lao family on an organic farm. And I think the soil is very, very important and special. So that's me, and that's what I'm going to be talking about, is how to improve your soil and also what it's made of.
Okay, next to me. May I introduce myself? My name is Sivaporn. You can call me Bess. I do a farm about 30 rice in Saabery. Since I have a lot of problem with the soil, so in about 10 years, I do some research or something to get my soil better and better, and I want to share it today. Thank you.
Lucina.
Hello, Bronwyn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello,
okay,
nice to hear from you.
It's lovely to meet everybody. I'm on my way to take a shower, so my camera will be off, but I will be listening in. Right now, I don't think I have much to contribute about my soil, as it is still in the beginning stages of restoration, but we're getting there somehow.
Okay, thank you, Klasina. Klasina, I can add, since you're a good friend of mine, that Klasina has some land up in the north. It's Chiang Mai, near Chiang Mai, and you have your beginning, a project to develop it in line with permaculture. But right now you're in Bangkok, where you also have to work and earn a living. Is that fair enough?
That's fair enough. Thank you, love. I was a bit shell-shocked. I guess so. Who's next?
Is that me?
I don't know. Sorry, no idea.
Oh, well. All right, well, I'll do it now. It's so I'm Bronwyn Evans. I'm was from New Zealand. I've been here in Thailand now for 22 years. I have been a place here in Saabery, which I've been developing with my husband Surin and our staff. We have a small resort called Fasai Resort and Spa. And we also have land where we have orchards and a whole bunch of other things which we're developing in line with nature farming, a whole lot of things that are trying to develop the soil and develop healthy food and a nice ecosystem. Thank you.
Okay, maybe I'll go next. Just get it over done with. My name is Spencer. I'm from Hong Kong. I've been living in Thailand for 12 years now. For 12 years, I support the sustainable farming and organic farming. I run an organization called Go Organics. here I am learning from the expert in terms of soil management and celebrating World Soil Day, as well as provide the basic technical support. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
พี่ปิ๊นเลยก็ได้ครับ
ขวัญก่อนก็ได้ผมป้อนข้าวลูกแป๊บนึง
โอเคได้ครับ
sorry
as Prin is busy, so I will go ahead first. So my name is Kwan. I'm actually running an orchard farm in Trat province, and but my focus now is doing a small scale farm just to feed myself, and I do agroforestry. So I making wood to art like boat and furniture, things like that. So I will be translating in during the Dutch event. But my question is, I think everyone speak English. I look at the speaker, so I might be joining the speaking rather than translating. Thank you.
Actually, that's a good question to ask. Do we need to translate English into Thai or not? If maybe Kwan, you can ask this question also later if somebody else joined to raise hand if they need translation, so you don't do something that is just not needed.
May I ask whether Kun Panya coming get in this meeting already?
ข้าวรอนะคะไข่มากวางอ่อน
I can see Compania on the screen best.
Yes, okay, never mind.
วางก่อนอะไรวัน
Want to please mute your microphone when you are not speaking, and unmute when you speak and introduce yourself. Just say your name, where you're from, maybe your connection to soil, and we try to go clockwise, but it doesn't matter. Just if you didn't introduce yourself yet, you can just volunteer and introduce, so we don't have any pause and don't waste much time waiting.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jan. I here for just be a listener. I don't know. I need to introduce myself. So I'm Jan. I'm chef. I'm interesting about soil because I went to Babes farm. Babes is sends this meeting to me to join. I believe the as be a chef, the ingredient is most important thing for me, and it's like after I try the vegetables and fruit from Babes farms and another organic farms, I really like impressed. It's not the same. It's like that's what I can say. It's like it's really not the same from the vegetables and fruit from the farms that want to produce a lot, just care about how much they can get the produce to produce the vegetable and fruit, not about like how is it good as the taste should be, something like that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
So hello, may I introduce myself? My name is Prince. Yeah, my real name is Nakhon, but you can call me Prince, but not from royal family, no problems about that. But now I turn to be the biodynamic farmer, and before I turn to BT farmer, I am an organic gardener and farmer before. Now I'm also have a garden and farm, a garden in Bangkok and farm in Phetchabun province in small scale farming, 5 rice in Phetchabun and a little space around 200 square meter in Bangkok, but I have a learning center for urban gardening and farming practice like soil preparation and so sorry and I have another activities like a health promoting class that I also believe in the same thing about the quality of soil. This is a subtle quality like a light frost or vital frost that the soil that can absorb it and make it for our food. And I love to hear everybody here, and I have to listen to you and learn more about this dialogue today. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Nice to see someone who does biodynamic.
Thank you very much, Chris.
I think so. Two more people like Kun Panya and Suthi, and that's all I think. I think Kun Panya, maybe you can speak now. Hello. Or as we cannot hear you, maybe your microphone is mute or something. Otherwise, okay.
So go for Sat. It didn't speak yet, so you can hear.
So maybe Suthi, you can go ahead. Kun Suthi, you can go ahead, please. Oops.
Otherwise, if you don't feel comfortable introducing yourself here, you can type in the chat. I just send also, in my own self-introduction, and Chris and Bronwyn, and we already said hi to you guys. So that's one more option. If you would like to, of course, there is no obligation. It's just nice to know what everybody is doing, and our connection to soil and everything regenerative and healthy. Okay. So if no one is willing to speak up, maybe any of the presenters can say a couple of words about what they plan to talk about.
Okay, I'll say a few words. My presentation is based on a few things. I'll just read it a little bit. What is the problem with soil? What is soil made of? How to improve soil quality? What nature will grow on land if left alone? Why chemical fertilizers, insecticides, and herbicides are turning soil into the American word dirt? And finally, why weeds and insects are beneficial, because most people in modern agriculture seem to think they are the problem. They aren't. So that's what I will be talking about. I have been using animal byproducts, waste products, if you like, and it is very beneficial to the soil. It has turned it from red clay, which is very compacted, into black, almost black soil, which is extremely crumbly. And I will be showing some examples of what is growing in various parts of the land that we own. Well, I say own. In Laos, nobody owns anything except the government, but they allow us to use, shall we say. And that's me.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you briefly about me. So I'm in Thailand, in the eastern Thailand, in Saabery. And I believe that the soil, and although we're lucky in Saabery, it's very rich in minerals and so on. But I believe that, whereas the soil on the whole in Thailand is somewhat degraded, that in Laos you have much better, richer soil because of it probably hasn't been farmed so much. So I think what I'm going to show you is mainly about the use of microorganisms in soil and some of the things that I'm doing. I've just got a brief presentation about that. So that's all from me. Over to you, Bess.
Yes. I would like to share 10 years experience in developing the soil since I have collected in my Facebook timeline. So it will coming in a picture and also what it happened. This seminar, I will talk in two parts. The first part is about what happened in my land. And the second part is I want to suggest and recommend some easy way for people to do something good for their soil easily. Thank you.
And hello to the new participants. We still have a few people who didn't introduce themselves. So what we're doing now is just saying a couple of words of who you are, where you are, your connection to soil. So if you are willing to say hi to everybody, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Olga. Appreciate it. My name is Chaz, and I live in Maytang. And about, maybe 5 months ago, my wife and I purchased a piece of property here. And I moved here about 3 months ago, and I'm starting an organic farm based on the principles of regenerative agriculture and permaculture. And I'm in way out of my depth here because I have some experience. I was a landscaper and gardening, both ornamental and vegetable gardening in California, a little bit here, but I'm knee deep in the midst of creating an organic farm and basically a sanctuary that models the principles of permaculture. So I'm very excited to be part of the gathering.
Wonderful, welcome. And if you have any links or contacts, you can type them up in the chat. They will be available to everybody who is interested in recordings for this meeting, so we can stay in touch with each other. Hi, Neil. Welcome. And I just briefly mentioned before we started the recording that you have something to say for us, not just about the soil, but maybe for the next physical event. So please introduce yourself and say a couple of words.
Okay, do you want me to do that right now, or do you want to continue with how you had it already going?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, please say it right now.
Okay, so hello everyone, and I live in Bang Prao, which is in Sriracha, and I have a school that's located on our which is for rye, and we have previously, maybe it was even over a year ago, we were discussing having a physical event, sort of a social / convergence type event. And just maybe recently, within the last couple of weeks, a couple of people said to me, hey, do you want to try to do something next year? And this sort of accelerated to become, let's do something for Christmas, New Year's. So I'm going to send out an email to the TPC thing about the proposed schedule and some of the details. But essentially, we are now starting from December 1st. We can even have up to 500 people here, and so it's not really a problem like it was last time, because that's what really kind of was affecting things last time, was we couldn't have people get together. So my email will probably have all of the details, but I've talked with both Spencer, who I see is here, and Michael, who I don't see, but I think he had another meeting this morning. And he said that he thinks that if, there's not a lot of people, we can easily have camping here. So I've got an area where people can bring and set up tents. I have a limited number of rooms that are, they have bunk beds in them. And there's probably about 15 total showers on the facility and toilets. So it's not luxury accommodation, but certainly there will be a place. And the other possibility would be hotels. There's not a lot in Bang Pra. So if somebody wanted to drive to Bang Sen, they could get all the way up to a 5-star, the Tide Resort or Sriracha, but those places are quite expensive. So probably the one place that we have is an old resort. It's at the beach. It has a pool, and it's 1,000 baht for 4 beds in a room. So that could be 250 a person. And the idea would be to just do no formal presentations. So maybe the first day would only be arrival and have something to eat and talk and socialize, and probably have a musician come and play and just have sort of a chill evening. I was suggesting that we go to Kosichong Island for day 2. It's about 45 minutes by boat. It's really the only good swimming beach in the Sriracha district, because most of the coast is rocky. So Bang Sen isn't that bad, but this is nicer, and you can snorkel there. Very easy to get to, and probably could spend about half a day to a day there, come back, have another chill evening. And then the third day would be informal sharing. So maybe over the first 2 days, people would say, oh yeah, I would like to see that. We should talk about that. Could you talk more about that? And we have plenty of places, either for a plenary group up to about 50 people with TV screens, chairs, tables, or small areas, breakout type places. And so all of those are just things that we could do informally on the third day, and then maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whenever people could head out. So everything that Daruma Eco Farm provides for this will be free. So we'll have the at least a meal every day that we can provide for up to 50 people. But I'd like to, since we always try to have a theme for something like this, I thought a good theme might be something about food. And holidays is normally a time when people do get together and they share food. So I think this would be sort of like an extreme potluck event. But instead of bringing your pots, I have enough pots, barbecues, camping and a completely fully stocked kitchen. So whatever you would want to make, probably we have the facilities to do it. There's between 2 and 3 pizza ovens. So I think pizza would definitely be on the menu for at least one day. So any questions or ideas? I can either try to answer them now. I know that at least 2 of you that I can see, Spencer and Olga, have been here a few times, and so
let's keep the questions for later on. So I posted in the chat the information how to join the email list. You said that you are going to send this invitation in the email.
yes.
So I think that will be a better option. And also, if you stay for a later discussion, because just 4 minutes, we will start the presentations, which is 45 minutes. And after that, we will have open kind of Q&A, sharing, and that would be a wonderful time to do that. We still have a couple of people who didn't introduce themselves. So people who just joining in, I would like to kind of repeat my invitation to say who you are, where you are, your connection to the soil. So please do so. We still have a few minutes before the presentations. And one more request, please mute yourself when you are not speaking so that the background noise doesn't disturb other people. It's just kind of a common Zoom courtesy. Stay on mute when you don't intend to speak.
May I speak to Kun Kwan Olga? Since Kun Kwan will not translate, I will try to help him by translate in Thai for some short phrase. So people will understand. Will this be okay, Olga and Kun Kwan?
I think everyone speak English. There's no need to speak Thai at all.
Okay. Let's not do it. Thank you, Kwan.
So my invitation to you guys is, when you see some unknown faces, you can say something in Thai, like please raise your hand if you need translation, so that we don't, miss out. But I agree with Kwan. If everybody can speak English, then we can save time and effort.
Yeah, but I'll be standby anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
And people who are joining in, please just unmute yourself. Don't wait for invitation. Just boldly go in.
Hi. This can talk right now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Golf. I just started to make a organic farm just a couple months ago, and I have a problem with a compact soil and nutrient soil because in my area used to make a rice field for about 20 or 30 years ago, and now I want to see information or something like microorganism. That's about that. Thank you.
You've come to the right place then.
Suti, would you like to say who you are? You're kind of our Chantaburi tribe people. So
Hi, my name is Suti. I live in Chantaburi in Thailand. Now I live in my garden. maybe the poor internet. Yes. Now I have a garden, many fruit. I made in organic about 10 years. Now I see everything good. Oi. Yeah.
Okay, welcome. Anybody else would like to say anything? If not, it's 10:30. We can start, but it would be nice to say at least, hi to. I mean, to hear hi from you guys who didn't speak yet.
Hello, I'm John. I was born in the United States, but have been traveling a lot lately. I studied permaculture at the University of Santa Cruz, California, as well as doing field research regarding the subject in Cuba. And I did that for 2 years. Now I am just traveling and trying to become a digital nomad, but at the same time looking for property that me and some other people are going to try and turn into a sustainable hostel, complete with different types of places you can live in, whether it be earth bag, cob, adobe bricks, tiny little structures, and a complete permaculture forest, food forest, if you would, with lots of native, indigenous species, things like that. That's a dream down the line, that's a hope.
You're on the right track.
Okay. And hi, everybody. I am Aarti Narayanan. I am from India, Tamil Nadu, southern part of India. I don't have a farm and all, but I recently found this word permaculture, and I was so excited to know about it. I thought of connecting with people who are really into it. So I found this group and I joined the place. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.
Okay, if nobody else is willing to say hi, I guess it's to you, Chris, and you can start your presentation. Oh, by the way, we promised in their agenda to raise a toast, so I don't know if anyone has a drink, kombucha, I have a coffee, so maybe let's say cheers to our dear soil that is a mother of all life. So let's drink to that and start talking.
Cheers.
Okay, to you, Chris.
Thank you, Olga. Very well done, well presented, and it's good to see lots of new faces. And my drink, water, straight out the ground. Okay, so here we go. Soil is alive. Dirt, as any American will know, is dead. We're going back to the future, and energy is not required. Healthy soil is all the tech you need for a healthy food supply. So what I'm talking about is, why is there a problem with soil? What soil is made of? How to improve soil quality? What nature will grow on land if it's left alone? Why chemical fertilizers, insecticides, and herbicides are turning the soil into dirt? And finally, why weeds and insects are beneficial to what we're trying to achieve. So Spencer, if you can show the 5 pictures. Is that up, the picture with 5 pictures in it?
You mean the 5 videos?
Oh, sorry. Right. That's, oh dear. Okay. yeah, there's a picture which obviously not got up. I don't know how to reach it now. Hang on a second. I should have done this technical issue. So I'll tell you what, we'll skip that and I will get to it and I will sort it out when the others are doing their presentations. So I'm going to page 3 now. So why is there a problem with soil? Alan Saabery learned the hard way why animals are the solution to desertification, not the cause of it. Alan Saabery is a native of Zimbabwe, used to be called Rhodesia. He gained a BSc in biology and botany in 1955. From the late 50s and into the 60s, he served in the colonial service of the Provincial Game Office for 2 provinces. While in that position, he advocated, based on existing research, the slaughter of 40,000 elephants to stop the desertification of the grasslands of his country. Trouble was, after they stopped shooting them, the desertification continued. And he freely admits today, it will haunt him till his dying day. The UN report states that at the present rate of topsoil loss around the world, we have about 60 years before the planet in many places will be down to subsoil. An interesting fact I discovered on topsoil is that the largest US annual export by weight is topsoil. Google says that only 1/3 of the arable land is now desert or dying. Saabery says it's more like 2/3. Below is a link to the TED Talk given by Alan Saabery on how he arrived at what he thinks desertification is caused by worldwide. And again, I have to apologize because I've clearly not got this organized so that people could see that. So I will sort that out for when others are doing the presentation. I will put up that link. So here's a piece of anecdotal story from you guys from the US. I was in Iowa, Iowa is the middle of the US Corn Belt, which is 1 million square miles, and the heart of the corn feed production for the USA. In 1977, I rented a farmhouse in Iowa, and the owner farmer told me that at the beginning of the century, that's the 19th, 20th century going from there, in other words, 77 years ago when I talked to him, there was an average of 2 meters of topsoil across the whole state. When I talked to him, he said it's down to 1 meter now. I watched him plow his fields, which turned up like chunks of concrete. The soil was absolutely dead with no life in it whatsoever. So now I'm going to talk about what soil is actually made of. Soil has 4 parts: clay, silt, sand, and organic matter. Healthy soil for growing food should have 38% silt, 38% sand, 19% clay, and 5% organic matter. Sand, silt, clay, and clay are different sized particles of minerals, and organic matter is made up of dead plant life. Silty soil was the preferred soil type of early human settlements because it retained water better than sand and clay. This is why most early settlements were on the banks of rivers. This is also why river deltas are still much valued as farmland today. There is estimated to be 1 million microorganisms in 1 teaspoon of healthy soil. So now moving on to one way to improve your soil. It's called terra preta. It's a soil type created by ancient tribes of the Amazon 7,000 years ago. Over the centuries, they added charcoal and broken pottery to the soil to a depth of up to 2 meters. This enabled the tribes to have many crops, which sustained large colonies of people in what is normally very poor soil after the jungle is cleared. I would point out here that most of those, once the Europeans got there, most of those tribes died off because of the diseases that were brought. Even today, local natives sell the soil as we in the West might sell compost. As we know, just straight charcoal would draw nutrients out of soil rather than add to it. So they would have to have used something to add microorganisms to the soil, but it is not clear what. My guess is they pissed on it. Carbon, as we know, once sequestered into soil, does not break down for even over centuries. The recommended percentage of carbon in soil is 5 to 10%. Again, I've got another link here showing somebody who used biochar in their garden and the difference it made, and I will also post that link. Here's another way to, and this is where we get to the videos, Spencer. The first one is comparing some soil types. When I was pointing out the effect on soil when it has water from floor washing of our pig pen, was sent down a spillway and it was directed onto that soil. The second video is made on the same spot 3 months later. Now the pumpkins have multiplied many times, and well, you'll see. So Spencer, if you could just put those two videos up, please. No sound. No picture.
I do the same again. This is just to show you the difference that animal waste makes to soil. This is all one area. So if I stick this shovel in here, that's how far it goes in when I throw it in. If I move up here to where the runoff is, I do the same thing again. It goes in a lot further. And this soil, as you can see, has gone from a normal red clay to lots of very nice dark soil.
We've lost the picture.
And that's been run off about a year, something like that. But that you can use as potting mix without any problem, although we mix a bit of sand with it. And that will do for that. Thank you.
Was it okay?
No, half the picture disappeared halfway through.
Oh, halfway through. Okay, well, maybe I'll try again then. It's strange.
Back again.
Is it okay now?
This is just
Can you
to
hear?
show
That's
you
good.
the difference that animal waste makes to soil. This is all one area. So if I stick this shovel in here, that's how far it goes in when I throw it in. If I move up here to where the runoff is, I do the same thing again. It goes in a lot further. And this soil, as you can see, has gone from a normal red clay to lots of very nice dark soil. And that's been run off about a year, something like that. But that you can use as potting mix without any problem, although we mix a bit of sand with it. And that will do for that. Thank you.
Now video number 2, please, Spencer.
This is quick video about what happens when nutrients are fed to soil and what it does to growth. Now, you may remember a video I did 2 or 3 months ago. If
Yes,
not,
that's good.
I'll put it up for you. But I walked in here and did a soil test and showed you some really good soil. Well, take a look. This is what has happened in about 3 months. It's absolutely gone berserk. It's taken over completely. And the other great thing about it is a lot of times you find that pumpkins rot for various reasons. No rot at all. Lots of nice pumpkins growing in there. So again, the only thing that we fed it is the floor wash from the pigsties, and it just makes the soil really damp and full of microbes. So this is what you can expect if you put that on your garden. Okay?
Yeah, the pumpkin.
Yeah, lots of pumpkin. Can you see a pumpkin? Oh, right, there you go. There's one.
Unfortunately,
All
she
right.
was pointing.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. That's good. Okay. Unfortunately, she pointed the camera not at the pumpkin, but next to it. But believe me, that area is absolutely full of pumpkins. They come out. We're starting to harvest them now, which is about a month. So that second one was done in, I think, about October. We're now getting out pumpkins that are 5 and 6 kilos a pop. Excuse me. Right. And now we're going to look at another way of improving your soil. Oh, no, sorry. Done that one. Right. So now, Spencer, we're going to do the 3 other videos. And this is to show, they're just 3 short videos, and to show what nature does with land that is not plowed or planted. The first video is showing land that's been untouched for a year. The second one is for land that's been untouched for 5 years. And the third one is showing you land that has never been touched at all. In fact, the area where I was standing was settled only by humans only about 45 years ago.
Hi everybody, it's Chris here. We're doing 3 little videos to look at what nature does after man has stopped playing around with a bit of land. This piece of land was cleared clean about a year ago because the Thai owner that bought it is going to, in theory, build a solar panel production platform on about 9 hectares here. So first of all, look at this area here. You can see that nature's not done a lot with it. But then you look up here and you can see there's a lot more growth up there. But it's the same piece of land and it was all cleared at the same time. And then we could look at this over here, which is again the same land, but nature for whatever reason decided to build, to grow that. And I have no idea why here it's like this. Up there, it could be something to do with water that possibly sometimes lays here. Could also be that cattle and buffalo graze here also. But this is what nature does. And can you imagine if they decided to plant a crop of something, anything, it doesn't matter. That crop would have to fight that and that and that. Okay? So that's the first one. Now we're going to go and look at a piece of land that was cleared 5 years ago and what nature did with it. And it's Hi everybody, we're at the second piece of land. This piece of land was cleared 5 years ago, and as you can see by these little humps here, this was growing cassava. The reason we haven't done much with it is because it's been in dispute. I won't bore you with the details of that, but that's almost over now. So all this growth here is what nature will grow if you leave land here unattended. It's mostly clay with a fair bit of stones in it. So the cassava crop wasn't that bad, but this is what nature thinks should be here. And one of the lessons I'm learning is we need to listen to nature. Okay, now the one other little thing that I would like to point to is this shed here. This shed is an experiment on how to build with timber. This is all eucalypts that we grow here, and how to deal with the termites. This has been here for about 1.5 years, and you can see from the bottom of the post we've painted with scrap oil. I won't talk any more about that now because this is about the land. So take a good look around. This is what nature thinks should be here. Okay? And that's the end.
Chris, I think the mic is mute.
And here we are at the third piece of land. This is a piece of land that has never been worked by humans. And so we're going to take a little look around to see what nature thinks should be here. This is all self-planted. It's just what nature creates when given half a chance. So take a look at this. This is a yarn tree, and you can grow, make furniture out of it. So it's quite valuable. I think I was offered $300 for it, but it makes really good seedlings, so we won't be selling. So, cameraman, camera person, if you'd like to just take a look around at the trees here, the big ones, look up, see how high they are, give people an idea of just how magnificent this piece of land is.
Chris, please unmute yourself.
Thank you. I have nickel-plated lungs, so I'm constantly clearing my throat. Okay, so the next page is about why chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides are turning soil into dirt. Chemical fertilizers are acidic, which microorganisms are not able to tolerate. This means that although it gives plant growth a boost, it is like humans drinking 10 cups of coffee in the morning to give you an energy to get going. So that's the chemical fertilizers I'm referring to there. However, it, like any drug, becomes less effective as time wears on. So it takes more product to get the same growth, the same amount of growth. This stresses the plant, causing it to be weaker and thus more susceptible to insect attack. Of all the insects known to man, less than 0.5% are serious pests for human crops. One insect that insecticides eradicate is the black soldier fly. The black soldier fly, for example, lives for about 25 to 35 days. And as a larva, consumes twice its own body weight every day. It will eat anything that was once living. As grubs, they are 70% fat and protein, which means they are excellent free feed for fish and birds. Last page. Why insects and weeds are beneficial. Excuse me. Excuse me. Why do we have weeds? Weeds are the first species that germinate on bare landscape. The sole purpose is to provide cover to prevent soil erosion from heavy rains until hardier brush and shrubs and tree life can return. Weeds growing along riverbanks and shorelines help to prevent them from sliding into the water. Excuse me, too much talking. Finally, insects. Insects are the cleanup crew. Without insects to process and convert dead animals and plants, they would accumulate in our environment and so are thus essential. Insects are underappreciated for their role in the food web of life. They are the sole food source for many amphibians, reptiles, birds, and small mammals. The only time they are a problem is when they become a plague, which is often created by humans' insistence on monocrops. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I will be putting up those things that I missed out in the chat space. And now it is over to Bronwyn.
Yes, thank you so much, Chris. And it was fascinating. Bronwyn, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very interesting, Chris. I think what I want to do is maybe even picking up on some of the points that Chris has made, which is the importance of microorganisms. Now, people are just coming to really understand this a lot more than they did before, that microorganisms, what you see in the form of, say, a mushroom or is actually the fruiting body, which you might see above the soil, but below that, there's a whole web of filaments and so on, and that well, I'll just call them fungi, or I can't quite pronounce the names of all of these things, but they form like a kind of underground forest, and they trap nutrients from the soil, convert them and present them to the plants. So microorganisms are totally essential to grow healthy soil, and obviously a major, very important part of the soil. Now, I've been watching some videos which from a group, they call them the Soil Food Web, and they have like some, and it's like based in the United States, but they have like, they set up people, they've got like groups and I suppose students and agents all over the world, and what they do is they've got a system to help people improve their soil and grow food naturally and very healthily. Now there's I think in Thailand we're very fortunate that there's a similar group, but it's a non-profit. It was set up by a Japanese organization which called Effective Microorganisms, and they actually they hold workshops at their demonstration farm in Saabery. And I've been there, and Bess has been there, and I think also Clasina, if she's still with us, she's been there. And in fact, a lot of their workshops are free. I went to a free one. I think they're charging now for some people. So this is well known now in Thailand as EM, which we call it EM, which stands for Effective Microorganisms. But you can also create your own brews. And what I'm going to show in my video is some of the things that I do. And going back to the Soil Food Web, the key elements of soil building that they talk about is having compost, teas, yeah, that's mainly it. Having good compost, having teas, which they use on the soil and which they also use as a spray. And so I'm just giving some examples of how you can do this yourself. From our place. So when I say in the videos that I'm using a commercial product, most of them are the EM that I buy from Emero. But also there's another one, there's other groups that also make their own microorganisms or biological products. So we also use some of those as well. And I think everybody can find out about that. So, okay, so now Spencer, you're indispensable for our presentation today. So please, could you play my video? Thank you.
Today is World Soil
Is it good?
Day in honor of King Bhumibol, the former king of Thailand, and I'm wearing his t-shirt. And I love this shirt. I wish I could wear it many, many days, but now I only have one and it's wearing out. But anyway, we're all grateful to King Bhumibol. Okay, so what I have here is a big pile of cow shit, or manure, I should say. And I'm going to use this to make some special EM, which is good for the garden and good for the soil. So here we go. Best in this case, actually, I don't need this. The fresh stuff, which has got lots of microorganisms in it. And because our cows are very healthy and we don't have that many, it doesn't smell bad, I don't think so. And so this is what I'm going to do. And yeah, so there we are. What I have here is the cow shit and water, and I'm going to add some things. This here is molasses, very important because it's sugar and it's going to help it ferment. So I just chuck some in like this. That's probably enough. And now I'm going to add some EM that I pre-made. And you don't need this, but I just do it. Okay, I'm going to add the whole lot. And then I stir it up 50 times one way and 50 times the other way. And what this does, stirring it, sets up a vortex, and it helps in the water, and it helps the microorganisms get started. Ideally, you should do this every day for about 5 days, but I just do it when I remember. Okay, so what I do when it's finished is it makes a really good liquid fertilizer, which is good for the soil and also encourages microorganisms, like I say. Here's some older stuff that I made. I'm going to put it on our cocoa tree here, or cacao tree, which is doing very well because I put it on, and now a little bit on here, mangosteen. Well, that's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, what we have here is some other kind of EM that I make, or what I call it EM, which I add to, I put on the leaves to help keep them healthy. So ingredients include lemongrass, which I'm cutting here because I just picked. I'll take these home for dinner. And so I have here lemongrass, galangal and neem. And I mix these, and I start with a mixture of this EM. I buy the commercial product, and what you do is you add 5% with molasses, 5% EM and 90% water, and you store them in the gallon and leave them for at least a week and use that. So in this vat here, I have mixed up the EM just like I described, and then I add to it these herbs. And then later we can use them as a spray or a tea for the plants. So yeah, I just cut them up, mix them, and like that. And here, the neem. You can do it with many different plants, but these are just the ones I like to use. They suggest things which have a strong smell, so you know, good her medicinal properties. And the galangal. The galangal is good, especially if you have fungal infections. So yeah, I just mix all these up, and I keep them, and I use them as a tea on my plants, and it's pretty good. So and then when I mix them up, like in here, I have a mixture already mixed up. So I have that, and I also add this, which is, I'll call it wood vinegar from making charcoal. And I also make another brew like this with eggs from our chickens, and you also mix that up with rice water and EM and sugar. So there we are. This is another good formula to making the soil healthy. Okay, so here's another commercial product we buy, which is I also got microorganisms in it, and what this is really good for is making roots healthy. And we mix it up overnight with some water, stir it up as usual, and then put it around the roots of the plant. And because the roots and the soil underneath is what really counts for the trees, and we find that it really works. So I actually did that yesterday to put on the plants today. Okay, so I just want to show you the effect. These trees in this part of the garden or the farm I've been working on for a couple of years, we used to have rubber trees, and the trees and the durian trees we were planting grew very slowly. But anyway, over these past 2 years, been adding lots of compost, mulch, as you can see. If you have a quick look, you can see we've got banana leaves and grass clippings and stuff down below, cow manure as a manure. And this tree here is 2 years old, and this one is 1 year old. The 1 year old is much bigger, and I think, and this one is now suddenly taking off. And I think that's because the soil has been greatly improved. Before they were quite stunted and just hardly moved. Whereas other parts of the farm, they grew and they were like meters tall, and where the soil was much healthier. But anyway, I'm very happy that we managed to restore the soil, and now the trees are doing well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that, Spencer. And that's about it, but just to say that it really does seem to work. But building the soil is a long-term process. But what I was saying at the end is just after about 2 years of just consistent building up, putting on compost and cow manure and mulch and teas, etc. You know, we're really seeing a difference. So and I've shared some links from APNAN, which is where we buy the EM, and you can just have a look at the manual. I mentioned that you can make your own microorganisms, and I think like I also make one where I get rice, cooked rice. Actually, it should be organic rice, which I take from our own rice. And when it's cooked, I actually just leave it in my kitchen, and it attracts all of these microorganisms and fungi and stuff. And after about a week, then I mix that with molasses and water, and then it actually that creates a microorganism, a microorganism brew. It's indigenous microorganism brew, so that also has a similar effect. I actually just add that to my mix, but because I mix up a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bronwyn. And everybody who will be interested in the links, it will be in the recordings. We will post it in their email distribution list. If you sign up for that, it will also be available in the line open chat. So just, you know, please watch those spaces for sharing. Okay, so now it's Beth's time. Welcome, Beth, and let's hear from you.
Thank you, Olga. And hi, everybody, my dear friends. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Sivaporn. You can call me Beth. The story of being a farmer began 30 years ago. And Olga, would you please show the slide? Yes. I grew up in and lived in Bangkok. I didn't know anything about agriculture at all. My experience was only my memory of how delicious our food and fruit used to be when I was young. So, to be an amateur farmer, I started to learn from books such as One Straw Revolution, written by Fukuoka, and many books. And experience from reading Turning Point by Fritjof Capra changed my point of view about being human on earth. First 5 years, I spent with a monocrops nearly 200 durian trees, using chemical pesticide and artificial fertilizer, which brought a lot of trouble to my durian trees. After I read the book named สวนสมรม by Bronwyn, I decided to change my way and attitude for the first time as a farmer. I took course on how to make compost and Biochar with EM at MOA Center like Bronwyn in Saabery. In the years 2008, I decided to start my way of living by spending my life as a real farmer at Saabery. This is the presentation in my this is the presentation is an example of how I deal with my soil. I hope that my experience can be a lesson for the other people, since there are a lot of mistakes and good things. I hope we can share, and please give me some advice that I would be great for me. Thanks and big hug from me. So let's start with the first slide, Olga. This is the first, when I bought the farm, the soil is very bad. Then the second, change the slide, please. Olga. The story of our cows begin about year 2010. In the year 2010, we have 3 cows. After that, we have 8 by newborn cow in our farm. And in 2016, which is the most droughted and dry, no water, no grass enough to feed cows. So we decide to share 7 cows with another 2 farms in Phuoc Dang. Right now, we have only 2 cows left in our orchard. The benefit we get from cow is that they ate a lot of grass and gave us a lot of urine and cow dung. Our land become more fertile. We can see a lot of grass along the road in the farm. And also cow feed can crush big biochar into a powder. Next, please. We also have geese and ducks. The reason why geese is so good is they can frighten snake and stranger. Duck gave us egg, and we can make salty and delicious from duck eggs. After we move ducks and geese, the soil will be plenty of worms. The fruit trees become so strong and be in good condition. No need to spray any bio or chemical on. You can see from the middle, the soil, they have no weed left. And when they move the ducks and geese out, we can see plenty of worms go up by the surface of the soil. Next, please. Next. We also try with pigs, but did not work, since pigs eat a lot and so expensive food. And we cannot sell them because they are not from big standard farm like the others. That is the failure. Next. Okay. Next, vermicompost is good for seedling and germinate. And also good when we mix with biochar. We don't have to buy peat moss that is so expensive when we grow vegetable baby trees. Next. And this is about, we also did our own compost, about nearly 40 tons nearly every year since 2012. This is the best solution, but cannot work without our team's help. The compost best for vegetable and fruit trees. So this is what is we have done so many years since our land is not a good soil at all. So I have to help by adding more microorganisms and compost. And the microorganism, I think the real good thing is come from the cow manures and poos from the geese and duck and so many things from natural. Next, this is an easy way you can do as a hobby in your farm or your place to get your soil being better. First, I have tried on using food waste to be a compost in a prepared soil. I can see later that the trees that going around this experience, they get very strong nitrogen and the leaves are plenty. So it's much more easy to use a bucket and put a hole at the bottom and put some food waste in it. And you see the result, not have much time. Second, please. And you can also make good soil from weed also. By my experience, since the cow walk along everywhere on my land, and I can see that they have more weeds, especially near the vegetable field. So I cut the grass and put it in exact place and pour some poos and cow dungs by layer, and then put some water and wait for 2 months, and we can get the good soil in the place, not difficult, and we can grow everything much better than the ordinary soils. Next. And also we can learn from Googles and many places that we can create our own biochar easily. Just like cone pits, you can dig a cone in the land and find some wood stick, the dry one, or you can at the left pictures. This is the oil barrel, and they get process to burn out the biochar, and the in the middle is the way the much more easier way to put the stick in and burn it out. And at the right hand pictures, we can see the finished process of biochar. And it's quite easy, not difficult like before. And we can bring this biochar, put it in at my farm. I put it in a cow place to walk over and crush it in a powder. And with the cows walk over on that, they put some urine and the cow dungs. So just like automatically add more nutrient in the biochar, and then we get it and mix with some other things to get a good soil in our land. We have done by so this is what I have done for 10 years, and we would like to share this for friends, and we would like to have recommendations and suggestions. That would be great. Thank you very much. So I forgot it. This is the last slide. The last slide is the result of what I have done for more than 10 years. We get the reward from the research center and our products. And you can see from the picture on the left, the vegetable can grow very big and delicious. And on the top of the right, we can have some book trees. That is trees in the forest growing in our orchard. And the guests come and say how big the book trees grows. And also at the bottom is a way we do some protection, since Canterbury have a lot of rain. So we create some roof to protect rain from the vegetable. And this is how nice we get from doing or being a farmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bess.
Thank you. It's wonderful. And now it's time for all of us to say something. It can be appreciation to the speakers, can be questions or comments for them, or you can introduce your own projects and ideas on how to make soil more healthy. So this is our time. Also, for those of you who joined later on, Neil had a wonderful invitation for us, and he welcomed questions and comments. So maybe we can talk about that as well. So just whatever is in your heart, in your mind, please share. Just unmute yourself, say something, and just keep sharing. No need to ask for permission or anything. Just go right in.
I'll just quickly comment on Bess's presentation. Thank you very much, Bess. I saw at the end you were producing biochar. We do that as well. In my presentation, I was waving around a bottle. We actually collect a liquid that runs off the plants, the wood that you use, and use that and mix that, and that's quite good, which I mix with EM, as a spray on the leaves, which is helps to protect in terms of insects. It's not 100%, but it is helpful. And also so we also do that, but I don't. And Bess, do you also collect that, which I call wood vinegar?
I also have that as a pesticide, and to get the trees much more healthy. Since I growing a lot of vegetables, So I have got a lot and plenty of work to do. So some I can do and some I miss. Is there any question?
Also, we have some new participants who just joined and they didn't have a chance to introduce themselves before the presentations. You're most welcome to unmute yourself and say a couple of words, who you are, where you are, your connection to the soil. Just say hello to everybody.
Hi everyone, it is here from Gaia Ashram. I'm a bit late. I just came out from other meeting and just being able to catch just a little bit of the last presentation is also feeling already very exciting. I mean, last year, the year before, me, Olga, and Michael and Neil was at the conference at the event. It was really good event, and it's a lot of knowledge. And even though this year is only online, I really hope to catch up, like, because everyone have a lot of experience. So really good to be here, even though I'm late. I'm trying to catch as much as possible. Maybe I look at the record later. Hi.
Hi, I'm Lane, and thanks, Bronwyn, for inviting me. And I just came in after about an hour, just realizing that the event was now. I'm a professor in philosophy at Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, and I live at Bowing to Trees Farm in Prachinburi, just near Koh Yai. And I had met Bronwyn online last year. We had talked about farming and so forth and building the soil, and we're working on that, of course, at our farm always. And I just wanted to say thank you to the presenters, and I look forward to going back and learning. And thank you, Bess, for that presentation. And then I also saw the end of Bronwyn's. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.
I can say hi, I guess. This is Michael. I'm in Chachinsao. And anyway, just joined a bit late, doing stuff with family, but great to connect again for this today. Nice to see you all.
Welcome all the new people who've joined. I just share, by the way, that at the background, the flowers, those are durian flowers. They're very beautiful. We just as an aside, at our place, I actually collected some durian seeds about 12 years ago, and I planted them, and they grew, and then but in the very early days, I put a mix there. I talked about the cow manure, and which I made like a brew with, I used to put like banana leaves inside this cow manure brew, and then I would soak them for a while, and then I used to put these cow manure soaked or fermented banana leaves around these trees, and they did really well. And last year we actually got fruit for the first time, and they were amazing. Amazing, best durian I've ever tried. But yeah, so they've grown up very naturally. But durian aren't easy. I think maybe if I'd like to hear something from Bess about the challenges and difficulties of growing durian organically, but maybe after we've heard a bit more from some of the others who've joined.
The experience with the durian is very difficult one, because we have durian at first, and then it have a disease, and we try on to plant more, but it during on the way to study it closely, so we can share experience together. Bronwyn.
Also, I would like to welcome my dear friend Mo Pen. We do some volunteering together in the traditional wisdom, knowledge, and sustainable lifestyle. So she is in another event right now, and I would like her to introduce herself and the project.
Hello. Hello. Can I speak Thai? Okay. Because I think that I'm not so good if can speak English, but I have some my team that some people can speak English very well also. You give time me the 5 minutes, alright? Okay. Now I stay in the non-station. Just a moment. Yes. Now we make some herb the last long time. We make for the nun and the monk or the Thailand for the they look like the careful about healthy alive. Yeah. This my team, หมอบ้านๆ team. Yeah. We are doing look like the volunteer. Yes, because today the volunteer day. We are make like this for King Lama 9. Yeah, because this day we have something to do for my father, because Thai people they think about the King Lama 9 look like the father of the Thailand. Yeah. This oil must look like the massage oil and for the body. Must all the we are do like this, not sell. We are give the monk, give the nun. This page also we are have the nun children for the okay. This time the because children nun they must have the some people come to give the care, because this boy come have the birthday, but non children cannot single for the happy birthday to you, because this Thai style non cannot single. Activity, if some people come to the non-station, come to pay meditation ค่ะขอบคุณมากนะคะพี่เบสคืออันเนี้ยค่ะเป็นกิจกรรมสำหรับวันพ่อค่ะก็ตอนนี้หมอเพนอยู่ที่สำนักแม่ชีรัตนไพบูลย์นะคะรามอินทรา14 แยก 6 ค่ะก็เป็นสถาบันแม่ชีไทยด้วยอันนี้เป็นยาตั้งแต่สมัยรัชกาลที่ 4เลยนะคะค่ะเป็นยาที่กลุ่มหมอบ้านๆเนี่ยให้กับคุณตาหม่อมซึ่งเขาได้รับการสืบสานนะคะมาจากคุณหมอที่ทำงานอยู่ในวังตั้งแต่สมัยรัชกาลที่4อะค่ะท่านตอนนี้คุณตาหม่อมเนี่ยท่านก็อายุ76 ปีท่านก็เลยทำยาให้เรามา20 กิโลแล้วก็ทางทีมงานหมอบ้านๆเนี่ยค่ะก็ทำการติดสติกเกอร์พร้อมมีตาชมรมหมอวิถีบ้านๆค่ะชมรมนี้อยู่ภายใต้เครือข่ายมูลนิธิกสิกรรมโทษนะคะมูลนิธิบูรณะชนบทแห่งประเทศไทยในพระบรมราชูปถัมภ์ของอาจารย์ป่วยอิงพากรค่ะแ และก็เป็นเครือข่ายกสิกรรมธรรมชาติของอาจารย์ยักษ์ดร.วิวัฒน์สันติกรรมทองด้วยค่ะซึ่งอาจารย์ยักษ์เนี่ยท่านก็ทำเกี่ยวกับดินอยู่แล้วเนาะการเศรษฐกิจพอเพียงแต่ว่าที่มาบเอื้องเนี่ยเราจะจัดวันดินโลกนะคะในวันที่11-12 ธันวาคมค่ะก็เรียนเชิญนะคะไปเที่ยวที่ศูนย์กสิกรรมธรรมชาติมาบเอื้องจังหวัดชลบุรีค่ะในวันที่11-12ค่ะก็จะเจอกับชมรมหมอวิถีบ้านๆอยู่ที่ฐานคนรักสุขภาพด้วยค่ะพี่เบสรบกวนพี่เบสtranslator อีกภาษาก็ได้ค่ะแล้วไม่รู้ว่ามีได้ข่าวว่ามีชาวญี่ปุ่นด้วยเนาะมีชาวญี่ปุ่นเกาหลีค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะแล้วก็เมื่อสักครู่นี้เป็นแม่ชีน้อยนะคะแม่ชีเด็กๆซึ่งเขากำลังให้พรกับเด็กที่มาเป็นวันนี้วันเกิดนะคะก็ซื้อเค้กมานะคะก็แต่ว่าแม่ชีน้อยไม่สามารถร้องเพลง Happy Birthday ได้นะคะค่ะก็เลยเป็นภาษาสวดมนต์ค่ะ
Thank you very much คุณหมอเพนค่ะI hope I can service as a area to grow medicine plant for you in the next future อยากจะปลูกสมุนไพรให้นะคะ and may I introduce what the activity that หมอเพน have present us here is the group of Thai herb medicine they have
เขาประชุมระดับไอ้นี่ค่ะวันนี้วันอาสาสมัครโลกthey have a volunteer people come and make the Thai herbs medicines and since this day today there's some one the youngster have birthday on this day they cannot sing happy birthday so they sing Thai way song for blessing the one who have a birthday today and this is a activity that's quite interesting because they have some knowledge about the Thai medicines and it is a very famous and belong to our elite society that would be nice to be more and get more in the our groups. Okay, thank you, Mo Pen. Okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing. I would like to invite Neil to say a couple of words again because we have a lot of people who didn't hear your invitation and the wonderful idea. So please share one more time.
Okay, so I'll make this one a little quicker. I will put something on the TPC mail list, which Olga shared a link earlier for anybody that wants to join that. Would like to invite everybody to participate in a mostly social event, probably 3 days, 2 nights. The first day would be an arrival day and eat, meet, talk, and options for staying would be either to bring a tent and use some place in our land that is kind of an open grass area. And then the other is there's about 12 bunk beds that are up on the 3rd floor. And the third option would be a nearby hotel. I'll put the more specific details there. Second day, I proposed an outing to Kosichong Island. There's kind of a standard tour. They have the super large tuk-tuks they call Skylabs. I think you can get 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people with kids in it. And it's about 300 baht for the full day tour everywhere, which ends at a very nice swimming beach with snorkeling. Of course, this is just intended to be social, but maybe after a couple of opportunities talking. Some people can be incentivized to, on the third day, share some stuff. I have plenty of resources at the school, large rooms, small rooms, TVs, projectors, chalkboards, whiteboards, paper for drawing. And the other thing would be to maybe focus on some of our holiday food traditions or things that we really like. So an on-site potluck using the kitchens and the many barbecue, wood cooking ovens, and I said pizza would definitely be on the menu. So I know one of the big questions is cost. There's no cost for using the facilities here at Daruma, and people could either bring some of their own foods that they've grown, or we could just pitch in and share for the potluck type foods, which should be very reasonable. We have either the market or some local places, but also if you have something that's a little more exotic, we do have regular grocers. So if anybody has any questions about that, I didn't mention the date because I wasn't entirely sure, but it seems like somewhere between the 24th and the 30th is probably the best time. So after the TPC thing goes up, maybe some people can say, well, this is the best time. I know sometimes that does not work because it's better to just say, this is the date. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. For those who don't know kind of like the backstory for this, permaculture people like to gather together. You know, in Thailand, we were doing it once a year in person, and COVID made some changes in this tradition. So I hope we can do it again, and at Neil's place. And for those who cannot join in person, maybe we'll organize some online event and make it a hybrid, kind of offline, online, and so that it's all inclusive, because now we call ourselves Permaculture Without Borders, so we can invite people from other countries who cannot travel in this COVID crazy thing. So I hope we can discuss more details and come up with more precise plans using their email distribution list. Like Neil said, there is a link on how to join it for those who are not on the list yet. Please join in, and I hope we'll make it happen. Earlier we talked about the possibility of this kind of convergence also in Chantaburi province. Bronwyn was kind enough to invite us. So earlier I was joking that maybe we'll make one New Year celebration at Neil's place, and then there are other New Year celebration when the fruit is coming at the fruit capital of Thailand in Chantaburi. So why not? And yeah, so please, anybody else who feels like talking, just jump in and ask, share.
Yeah, Olga, thanks. I'm wondering if there's a possibility of compiling information on people's names and farms. I heard, lots of farm names, and some of them I wrote down, and also Chris had mentioned a number of links. Normally that's done in the chat. I can't know the name of the chat history. You can print and publish that. But if there's a way that we could compile as much of that information as possible, as opposed to in the line group, individual posts, which are really hard to find, compile it. Is there any way to do that?
Well, actually, it's not either or. It will be distributed using all these platforms. So I'm recording this Zoom meeting. So you will get video, audio, and text. In the text, you will see all the chat, and the links to this recording, with video, audio, and text will be posted in the email list, in their Facebook page and group, and also in the line open chat. So it will be the same link, just whatever platform you use, you can get it from there.
Okay, I'll have to check out the other two, Facebook and email, because as far as I know, I'm only involved with the line group, so I'll have to check out the email and the Facebook group. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. The text, I'm sure, will be sufficient.
And following up on that, I invite everybody who joined this Zoom meeting, please, write your names, your contacts, links to your projects, anything you would like to share, because if you write it now in the chat, it will be a nice repository of all this contacts that we can share with each other. So if you haven't done so yet, please do so.
One of the things I wanted to mention, just because there's something that came up in my research, for those interested in fungi, as I believe Bronwyn was talking about earlier, the organism lives on the ground is mycelium. That's the name for it, which is pretty much what the fungi organism, what we think of as mushrooms, is just, as she said, a fruiting body. But I want to say, like, one of the leading researchers in the world for around the study of fungi and what it can do is Paul Steinmetz, and he's a professor over at Evergreen in Washington State, United States. But he wrote a book called Running Mycelium, and it is a great text about it. Yeah, and it is amazing. In which he argues that we are just living in a mushroom world.
Yeah.
I just want to mention that in case anyone wants to look that up. There's also like a vast many ways you can grow mushrooms, like just personally, like if you want to grow what's called polypores, which are wood mushrooms, you just get sawdust and you can order the mycelium online and they'll ship it to you. And usually they'll ship it to you in sawdust, and then you just keep it in the right warm, humid environment, and it'll fruit. Same thing with other ones that aren't polypores, but other ones you can like grow in coffee grounds really easily.
What was the name? What was that name again, Jonathan?
The book or the man?
No, the product that you talked about.
Oh, mycelium. Yeah.
No, you said get in it. You said something about.
Oh, getting it. Yeah, you can go online. I think you can order it through a couple of websites, or I think even Amazon sells it these days, or like there's someone on Amazon, and you just like look up mushroom mycelium, or like just look up the type of mushroom you want. Basically, if you want shiitake, you want whatever you want, or if you just want something that'll break something down.
At the end of where you're saying there, you mentioned a product that you were using something of. No.
No, well, if you want a polypore, which again, like there are different types of fungi. They grow in different types of things. They break down different types of things. Polypores are mushrooms that are found on trees because they break down wood. And you can grow the mycelium in sawdust. Usually when you buy it offline, it'll come to you packaged in sawdust. It'll just be mycelium in sawdust. And if you keep it in a warm, humid environment, it'll sprout. It'll shoot mushrooms out. Same thing with other types of mushrooms that grow in dirt. They'll ship it to you in dirt. But a lot of those mushrooms you can grow actually in coffee grounds, because coffee grounds are sterile, so they won't have anything else competing with the fungi. You just drop in mycelium that you get shipped to you, which is like a little small thing, and it'll grow out of that. And there's actually a company in, I think the UK, that does this. They were like a coffee company that had a bunch of coffee grounds, but now they use those coffee grounds to grow mushrooms that they then sell. And after the end of that, like after the mushrooms are sprouted and broken down, either the coffee grounds or the sawdust, that's just straight fertilizer you can throw into your garden.
Yeah, cool. Hey, I got a question for Neil. Neil, what's the name of your school?
It's Mosaic School, Mosaic Learning Center, Mosaic School.
Okay. Is there anything online on that?
Yes, you can look up the Mosaic School Thailand on the Facebook page.
Okay. I definitely want to be in touch with you on that. I'm a longtime educator, 30 years. And one part of my vision is to have a education training center here. We're soon going to start a building for that, a meeting facility, first step on that. So love to talk to you about that.
Okay.
Chaz, can I just say your idea of being able to locate everybody is a great one. If somebody here has got if we all put our contacts and location maybe in the chat, then somebody who's here might be kind enough to try and put all that together in the form of a map or even just a list. That would be great. And in fact, including you, I didn't quite catch where you are.
Yeah, I'm in Meitang, just north of Chiang Mai. Olga, I guess you can print the chat box. You can print that, or I'm not sure if you can capture that somehow. Me personally.
Chaz, if you send me if I see yours up there, I'm scrolling up, but if I see it, I'll send it to you by email.
Okay, great. Yeah, I did. I put my my contact there. Chi Homestead, Chaz at Chi Homestead.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can see the chat on the screen or not. I just scrolled it up to that information.
And may I speak for the member of a group in area of Canterbury? We are welcome guests who coming to visit us on when the fruit season. So you can be our guest and visit our farm around here and have some discussion and sharing more. Thank you.
I remember that we talked the physical in-person event. Bronwyn said that we are welcome to stay there. I think it'd be a wonderful day trip to visit Best Farm and maybe other organic and regenerative projects around. Just like Neil was suggesting some fun outings when we visit his place. I think we can do the same when it's time to visit Bronwyn. I really like this idea.
Yes. Because we've got at least 3 of us here in Canterbury, I think maybe 3 or 4. It seems like a great place to attract people in here. Obviously, we've got some accommodation. There's quite a lot of other accommodation if we had a big crowd, if we had a big group, and so yeah, definitely a visit to Bess and would be part of the event. And yes, no specific plans yet about what this might involve. I think we have to think about that next year, or even what date. But definitely May is usually when we have the Durian Festival here in Canterbury. So that would and that's usually, it depends on the season and how the fruit is going. But that might be around about the 2nd or 3rd week in May. I mean, it would be great to coincide with the Durian Festival as well. But anyway, it's all up in the air at the moment. But just bear in mind that May might be a great date to try and have an in-person event, and we'd invite other people to share at the time as well.
Yeah, we also can accommodate probably people who are attached to this and keep that in mind, kind of brainstorm the dates a little bit later on.
Olga, just a quick point. Is there some point at which we're going to wrap this up? So rather than sort of drifting off into silence, I'm just thinking if we just set a time, and so if anybody wants anything to say, they could say it within that time span, and then that's the actual end of the meeting. Does that work?
Well, I think we can just let it organically happen. If nobody has anything to share, we wrap it up. That will be it.
I'd just like to say thank you, Olga. You've really put this together really well. It's gone very smoothly. And so thank you very much for your efforts.
Okay, with that, speaking of that, I need to sign off here. My wife lives in Bangkok and she's here on visit. She brought her family for the first time to see the property. Yay. So I will sign off. Very good to connect with you all. I really look forward to connecting more. Like I said, I'm way out of my depth here, and I'm in the midst of intense curiosity and experimentation, and I look forward to your camaraderie and support on that. So signing off, all. Thanks so much.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, Klasina here. I just wanted to say my introduction was a bit terrible this morning. I was caught a bit off guard, but I love all the information everybody's sharing, and I'm very thankful for all the organization, and really looking forward to physical, actual meeting up and sharing energy and sharing information, because as wonderful as online things are, they are just not real. So the more events we can have, the better, I think. And I think the fruit event sounds fantastic, Bronwyn. We can all eat durian and all talk about things, and the New Year thing as well. I'm really excited about that, and I'd love to meet you all and join. And then I might be slightly better than I'm online. Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you, and add my thanks to Chris's. Thank you, Olga, for organizing all of this, and thank you, Chris and Bess, for your presentations.
You're welcome, Bronwyn.
I don't know about everybody else, but it's a beautiful day here in Canterbury. Nice cool weather, but not too cold, and sunny. And so probably, it's probably a very lovely day to be out and about. I must admit. So it's nice to be online, but always look so. Probably everybody also is looking forward to getting out and about too, because we've got a lot of things to do with our hands and the earth and eating now that it's getting up to lunchtime.
So I'd like to propose that we close at this point, as there's not a lot that people want to say. And as you say, it's sunny outside and time to get out and practice all the things that we've been talking about. So I would suggest, Olga, that you wrap things up and we just close rather than people just drifting off one at a time.
All right, I guess if nobody else is eager to share, we can follow Chris's advice. And thank you guys so much for joining. Let's stay in touch with all these platforms. We have an email list, we have a Facebook page and group, we have line open chat, and we have a meetup group. They are all under the same umbrella, same names, that are TPC, which is Thailand Permaculture Convergence. And we call ourselves as a permaculture without borders. So everybody is welcome from any country. But, you know, since we started it as a core group in Thailand, so we kind of call ourselves Permaculture Without Borders by TPC. So everybody and anybody is welcome to join all these platforms, all these groups. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to actually breathing the same air and hugging each other and sharing food. I love the topic that Neil proposed for the next meeting, which is food. I'm a nutritionist and a health coach. So for me, it's very near and dear to what I do in my heart. I love food. So I'm really looking forward to sharing some food with you guys. Yes, thank you for joining. Let's close it and celebrate soil, improve soil health, how they say in Mabuang that feed the soil, let the soil feed the plant, and then I guess also animals and us. So yeah, cheers to soil and to us who understand their importance and you know, don't sabotage all the wisdom that it has.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for joining. Great to connect, and look forward to, as everybody else, connecting in person. I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to join at the new year because I'll be working, but we'll follow with interest and look forward to maybe catching up in May next year.
Yes, thank you all. It's been really inspiring seeing all the new people and new faces. So with that, I will depart. Bye all.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Bye bye.
Bye.
สวัสดีครับ
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for the info.
สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ